Do you ever feel like you need an accountability coach for your weight loss goals, but you don't want to spend the thousands of dollars it costs to hire them? The truth is, you can use social media the same way you would use a coach to reach your goals. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. First, why do the expensive coaches work? One of the biggest reasons people succeed with coaches is because it costs a lot of money. You have a lot of skin in the game, and because you're putting forth so much money, you're willing to actually follow through with the things that you say you want to do. But here's the cool part. You can mimic this pressure without having to spend the money. And the way you do that is by posting on social media instead. So the pressure you feel on social media is the pressure of the public scrutinizing you. And that doesn't sound like the most tempting thing to do, but let me just show you how to go about it. So every time you post your meals or what you are doing to the world, you're saying, this is what I'm doing and I am following through. The public commitment has weight. It's not money out of your pocket, but you're going to feel it because nobody likes to look inconsistent. And this is exactly where accountability kicks in. So how do you do it? You can open up Instagram, start a new account. This account will be strictly for your weight loss goals or your building muscle goals or your goals to just become more fit. It can be whatever goals you have in mind. But this Instagram account is for this specifically, unless you want to step it up a little bit higher just to feel the pressure even more. If you want to feel extreme pressure, then do it on your own private or your own personal account. And that way you know you're being accountable to all of your friends and family who can see anything you're posting. What you're going to be doing is you will be posting your daily food, and that means you don't have to be taking any videos like I do when I show you what I eat in a day. Just take a little quick snapshot. That way you don't even have to write it down. You take a quick picture and then maybe you'll throw it in a collage, or maybe you'll just post every picture. Whatever is easier is the one I would go for. And then you will write down what you've done for your activity for the day, as well as keep track of your weight. You can keep that private if you would like to, but keep track of your weight as well. And then the other thing I would do is take weekly progress photos. Nobody likes to do them, but they are necessary because they will keep you honest. You think you're doing something well. If the progress photos aren't showing the progress, then you know you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's okay because we are collecting data, and that's what's important. We're not trying to judge ourselves. We are trying to collect as much information as possible so we know how to make the changes we need to make. So the idea is you'll be able to see a trend maybe in your weight loss. And if you see a stall, maybe we need to look into it. Then you start looking at your food logs. Well, maybe I could do this a little bit better. Maybe I can tweak that. We're not saying you need to be perfect when it comes to diet, but that means you need to figure out little tweaks to make sure you're trying to see the progress you'd like to see. The other thing is if you're seeing a stall, this is where the progress photos are fantastic because that means you might be able to see, you know what, I still got leaner, like I look a little bit leaner, or I look like I have a little more muscle definition. And if you're not seeing progress in the weight, that's because weight doesn't tell us the whole story. This is why we'd like to take multiple data points so we can see what's going on. So why does daily posting matter? Well, we just discussed this one point. It's important to see all the information. So if we're collecting all the data, we're going to do a better job of figuring out what we need to do to make progress. But the other important part is if you're not posting daily, then you might not be as consistent. If you've ever seen people who say they're going to do this thing and then they show you they're doing it, they show you they're doing it, and then all of a sudden they fall off. They fall off of social media and you don't see them for a month or maybe more, and then they didn't reach their goals. In fact, they've backtracked a bit. This is why posting daily keeps you accountable. And it also keeps you very honest, even with yourself, because people don't always know exactly what they're doing. They might say, well, I eat perfectly and it still doesn't work for me. Well, maybe by clicking a picture of everything they ate will really open their eyes to exactly what they actually do for the day. And then you'll get to see that, okay, well, that slipped in and I don't normally count that, or I usually forget about it, and that slipped in. So it's like all these little things really matter. And then you get to have your eyes opened. If nothing else, you get to see what you're actually doing. So the idea is you're showing up daily, even if it's something small, just to make sure you're still on track with posting. We're not here to judge what you've done because we're all human, but the idea is to make sure you're just being honest with yourself and anybody who might want to follow your journey. I know it's not everybody's favorite thing to do, but they do say that the people who take their weight daily tend to keep a lower BMI than most. And a big part of that is because you're seeing what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So if you get too far out of your normal, you know to kind of reel it back in. And I know that it's kept me pretty well maintained. If you're keeping track of all of that, you can keep it private or you can keep it public. It's whichever way you want to go with it. I personally would just keep that private because that's the way I feel about my own weight. It's a good tool for accountability, but it's also just a good tool to give yourself real feedback. This is exactly what a coach would be doing for you as well. So why does it work? It helps you stay consistent. It will allow potentially for the community to be there for you. When I first opened up my Instagram and I was just posting daily what I eat in a day, I started to build a community of people that I really enjoy today. Some of them are my friends and it's amazing. And then when you're posting, you've got public pressure, accountability. You're not paying in cash, you are paying in accountability to the world. Here are some tips for success. Go ahead and set small goals for yourself. The small goal could just be posting every day. Nobody says you have to eat perfectly on day one, but if you were just to post every day and then track your weight every day privately, you can start to see some trends within your own habits where you can make tweaks. Nothing has to be big. I wouldn't suggest any big jumps. You don't want to make any harsh changes to your daily routine because you want to stick with it. You want this to last forever. Also be honest. If there's a day where you're less than proud of it, just post it anyway. We're all human and it makes you real, and then you can just move on with your day. There's no morality tied into what you eat and what you don't. If you would like to keep it private, one thing you could do is maybe just crop your face out of it, not show your body at all, maybe keep your body shots to yourself. It's all up to you. If you find you're not really progressing, you might have to jump to that next level and at least show weekly body photos or something. But that's up to you and how your mind works. And remember that it's a process over perfection. You're just trying to make some micro improvements every single day, and hopefully you'll see the results of that. Not all progress is linear, so just keep all that in mind. Don't judge yourself. Just take it all in as data and try to use it exactly how a coach would, except you're coaching yourself. And that's what's wonderful, because you're not always going to be able to afford a coach for the rest of your life. Sometimes you're just going to have to figure it out yourself. If you do end up using this strategy, tag me on Instagram so I can see it, or leave a comment below, and I would love to see your progress.